So the way that I view performance is completely different now than I did, say, 20 years ago. Um, and the reason is I would have been really sort of a staunch believer in this sort of cutthroat competition, yeah, just sort of sharp elbows to get ahead, and all of that nonsense of, hey, if you just simply have incentives, you can do the best, and everybody else, look out. I am going to be the best in this particular area, and nobody else can stop me. And that is some of the truth, right? I think I deeply believe that there is some truth behind that. But the thing is, if you want to encourage people to do well, and you want to encourage a lot of people to do well, that is the complete opposite of what you should actually be doing. And in fact, what you need to be doing is just have unconditional love. I know that that is kind of a willy-washy kind of thing, but I'm telling you, that is the absolute secret. So if you don't know me, I am Professor Dave Massack. I'm an Associate Professor of Innovation Strategy and Entrepreneurship. And I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There's so many people that help me out that I wanted to pay the favor for to help you out. So here's the problem. This is the reason why, that this is not necessarily all that clear cut, is that it's really hard to measure unconditional love. I mean, people try to measure this stuff, but it's really stinking hard to get at any of those particular things. But if you cut across all demographics, if you cut across the board, if you look at people that do well, it's not, there's nothing behind it in terms of them. There's definitely people that come from, that come from dysfunction, or not necessarily dysfunction. I don't like those terms, but, not necessarily a supporting background. There's definitely a lot of people that do that, and still do extremely well. But, what you really see is that no matter what you have and what you're about, and your surroundings and all those kind of things, ultimately the people that are well adjusted, that love their life, have had some sort of supporting person in their life, whether it being somebody, maybe it's, if it wasn't a parent, it's, a brother or a sister. If it's not siblings, it's, a coworker, just somebody that gives them support and says, hey, I believe in you. And it's completely unconditional. It doesn't matter how well that person does. It is just simply, I just think you're a good person, and I want to just hang around you and give you a couple of nudges every once in a while and just say, hey, you're doing really well. I think you can do this a little differently, but I think you're doing amazing. Don't change anything. And then that's it. I mean, if you look at all of the good coaches, that tough love approach, it just does not work. It works to some degree, but then it creates so much dysfunction around that it's just hard to operate. If you look at parents that, create kids, sure, they're not going to be like, I'm not looking to raise like a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. I'm not looking to raise world-class athletes, although that, maybe it's different in those particular scenarios. I want to be part of somebody's life that they actually love their life and that they're okay with it. And if they choose to go in those competitive domains, that's their choice, and that they have the support to actually do that. I think if you remember those particular things, I think that's actually what is the driving force. It's not ultra competition. It's not that sort of sharp elbows and I'm going to do what it takes to get ahead. That's really far from the truth. It's, hey, you know what? I'm proud of you, and I love you, and that's all it is. At the end of the day, if you want people to, give it their best, and just, know that they're part of something, That's all you got to do, and that's all you got to say. Honestly, you repeat that over and over and over again in any level of where you are. It just makes such a world of difference. Just saying, hey, you know what? Um, I appreciate you and I love you, and I just want to be there for you, however it takes. And I think like knowing that and being there and reinforcing that's what it is. That's the name of the game. It's not I'm gonna you know push you to push down the world, and like that's nonsense. People don't like their lives when they're like that. And maybe they become a world class whatever, right? They become that world class whatever, but they hate themselves, and then they end up don't sustaining it that much. If you look at people that do well, they have a tremendous amount of support all around them. Repeatedly, they just have support, and they know that they are doing okay, um, and that they're allowed to do things that are weird and unusual, and people encourage them to do that. So I'm going to encourage you to stop thinking about incentives and all of those kind of nonsense things, and really just start saying, hey, I'm proud of you, and I'm going to give you as much encouragement as I can, and I'm going to reinforce that as much as I can. And if crap hits the fan, crap hits the fan, and then you're there to pick them up and say, you get back out there, and you keep doing that over and over and over again. You reinforce it that it's not about what you actually get. It's about the fact that you're actually getting up and you're doing that over and over and over again. And you do that for years and years and years until something actually clicks. And that's it. That's it. And if you're a role around you and things are just not working out, well, you just got to keep going, keep trying, not not giving free for alls, and that sort of thing where you're there to bail them out, but you're there to coach and to help and be there, but not to bail people out of a situation, but just be there to support them and walk with them on their side. I think that is the key. It's not pushing behind, it's not pushing down, it's walking beside and just saying, hey, you know what, you could do this. I've seen you do something that's a little bit more tricky before, but I think you could do this again. And you repeatedly do that over and over and over again for years and years and years, and something actually clicks. So I encourage you to think about that. If you want people to thrive and do well and love themselves, just be supportive and loving and be there for them as long as they need it. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.